If you think you don't like dragon fruit, it may be because you've never had a homegrown dragon fruit. See, when you grow it yourself, the dragon fruit is going to be much more sweeter because typical dragon fruit commercial growers, they pick the dragon fruit before it's ripe. So it's not as sweet as it could be if you grow it yourself. That being said, in this video, I'm going to help you figure out when is the best time to harvest your dragon fruit and give you some reasons why your dragon fruit may be misformed or underdeveloped like this dragon fruit right here. So let's garden on. So first up, before I harvest my dragon fruit right here, so this dragon fruit is a little bit underdeveloped or misshapen. So there's a couple reasons why your dragon fruit might look like this too. The first reason is the variety. So there's three varieties in this dragon fruit planter by Vego Gardens. There's a purple haze dragon fruit, and then there's a dark star dragon fruit. So those two varieties are self-sterile. So basically they need the pollen of a pollen donator that is a self-pollinating variety. So this is probably the third variety. So the third variety was a mystery variety because it was given to me by some people who weren't sure what variety they had. But it's looking like the more common pink variety. That variety is self-pollinating. So there's a couple reasons why this dragon fruit right here could be a little bit underdeveloped. The first is maybe it has some heat stress. So I'm in Houston. It's super hot here. It could also be because this plant is a little young. This plant's probably about a year and a half old now, so it could be that. Could just be genetics. There's a lot of factors why your dragon fruit might be a little small or underdeveloped. But the biggest reason is between the heat stress, genetics, and then maybe the dragon fruit flower wasn't completely pollinated. So sometimes you might have a complete fail pollination, and then sometimes you might have a partial pollination. So this might be a partial pollination, and with combinations of other factors like the plant being kind of young still and from all the heat in Houston. But that being said, this plant is still edible. You can still eat this fruit. We're going to go harvest it next. So before I harvest this dragon fruit right here, if you guys are having trouble having your dragon fruit develop fruit, it may be because you need to do a pruning. So a couple weeks ago, I had done a pretty hard prune on this dragon fruit plant. And within that short time period, this dragon fruit has already started to develop a couple more flowers, which of course is going to lead to more fruit, at least hopefully. So go check out that video next. But there looks to be at least a couple new flowers that are about to pop out before the end of the season. So the biggest question you may have about growing dragon fruit is, when is my dragon fruit ripe and ready to be harvested? So typically from the point when you hand pollinate your dragon fruit to the time when it's ready to be harvested or ripe enough to be harvested, that's around 35 to 50 days. But most commercial growers, they harvest their dragon fruit before it's fully ripe. That's why it's not as sweet in the grocery stores. So commercial growers will harvest their dragon fruit when it's just starting to change color. But you as a home grower, you can let your dragon fruit fully ripen and fully change color on the actual plant. So that typically takes, like I said, around 35 to 50 days, probably closer to that 50-day point if you want that dragon fruit to fully develop that sweetness that you can't get in grocery stores. So I would say probably around 45 to 50 days you want to wait, but you can come out, keep an eye on your dragon fruit, watch it change over that time period. You can also feel it. If it's still kind of firm, it's probably not completely ripe. So when it starts to get more soft, that's when you can go ahead and harvest your dragon fruit. But like I said, it's typically closer to that 45 to 50 day period, but as soon as 35 days. Let's go ahead and cut this dragon fruit off. All right, so it is small, but it's still an edible fruit. You might also want to feel it before You know, obviously it should start to change colors, but if it starts to feel kind of soft and not so firm, that also is an indicator that it's ready to be harvested. All right, so like I said, this is just a small plant. Doesn't mean it's not edible. Still gonna be, you know, hopefully sweet, but let's go ahead and cut it open and see what the flesh looks like. Yeah, so it does have that traditional white flesh and pink skin, as you can see it right there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a taste. This is the first dragon fruit I've harvested since I started growing dragon fruit a year and a half ago. Little bit tangy, definitely sweeter than your grocery store dragon fruit, but pretty good. Might be a little better if I had let it put in the fridge to cool a little bit, but like I said, it's just small, still edible, tastes really good. So if you guys found any information in this video helpful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more gardening videos. Till next time, I'll catch you on the flip side of the garden. And go check out that other video I mentioned earlier about how I pruned this dragon fruit, and now it's already developing additional flowers. But thanks for watching, guys. That was good.